Dear child, your guardian angels have an important message for you, Toady. Something happened last night that you are never supposed to know about. It was quiet, it was hidden, and it happened behind closed doors. But even though you weren't there, your name was. Your name was spoken clearly and with emotion, and I was there when it happened. I saw it all. I heard every word. I felt every shift in the room. And because I love you, because I've been watching over you, I've come to tell you what no one else would. Not because I want to stir your emotions, not to hurt you, and not to confuse you. I came because you deserve to know. You deserve to understand what took place in a room where you were not invited, but where your presence was deeply felt. 10 people were sitting there. Some of them knew you existed. Some had never heard your name before. But when your special person started to speak, all of them stopped to listen. There was something in their voice, something in their eyes, something in the energy that shifted the entire room. It wasn't just small talk. It wasn't just memory. It wasn't meaningless words. What they said came from deep inside them, a part of them they don't show very often, a part that still carries you, a part that maybe even aches for you. I didn't expect it either. I didn't know they were going to speak your name with that much weight. But when they did, even I felt the world stop moving for a moment. I was the 11th in the room, unseen, uncounted, but fully present. And though I wasn't there as a guest, I was there for you. I listened not as a judge, not to form opinions, but only to gather truth, only to bring it to you when you were ready. And now, I feel you are. Your person had been planning this reunion for a long time. It wasn't something spontaneous. It was talked about, imagined, and dreamed of. These were friends from the past, people they used to laugh with, cry with, grow with, people who knew the younger version of them, the unguarded version, the version who once loved you without filters. But life happened. Things changed. The reunion kept getting pushed back. Everyone got busy. Feelings faded, or so it seemed. But last night, after so much delay, they finally came together. And when they did, something unexpected unfolded. The gathering wasn't large, just 10 people. 5 of them were the original group, your person's old friends. The other 5 were strangers to your person, the new partners of those friends. Wives and husbands, new faces brought into old bonds. They didn't know your name, they didn't know your story, and they didn't know they were about to witness something sacred. But they were there when it happened. They were witnesses to something that wasn't meant to be performed, something that wasn't for show. It was real. It was raw. It came from a place your person didn't even realize was still open. There was laughter at first. Everyone was sharing memories, telling stories, passing around snacks and smiles. The room felt light, familiar, full of warmth. And then something shifted. The conversation turned to people who had left an impact. People who had come and gone. People who had changed them, even if just for a season. And that's when it happened. That's when your person grew quiet for a moment. stared at nothing in particular, and softly said your name. No one expected it. No one was ready. The room went still. Even the ones who didn't know you felt something tighten in their chest. And then your person began to speak. They spoke slowly, choosing every word like it mattered. Because it did. They weren't trying to impress anyone. They weren't trying to explain away what happened between you. They were trying, maybe for the first time, to be honest. They said they still think about you, that they don't say it out loud to anyone, but you've never really left their heart, that there's a space inside them where your name still echoes, that they don't know what you think of them now, or whether you still remember, but they do. And not just in a casual way. You live in a part of them they never truly closed. They said that if they could go back, they wouldn't change everything. They wouldn't try to rewrite the whole story, but they would say thank you. They would say sorry. They would say more than they ever had the courage to say before. They would speak to you, not just as someone from the past, but as someone who helped shape their heart. They said that even now, they measure some things by what they felt with you, not because they're stuck, not because they haven't moved forward, but because something about what you shared still feels like truth, like realness, like love, even if it was unfinished. They spoke your name like it still mattered, like you still mattered. And in that room of 10 people, half of whom didn't even know who you were, the silence that followed those words said everything. There were no jokes, no dismissive shrugs, just quiet, respect, maybe even understanding. One person wiped a tear. Another looked away, pretending not to feel anything. But everyone felt something. Everyone knew they had just heard something that wasn't planned. Something that came from the kind of place most people hide. And I was there, dear child. I was there for you, because you weren't supposed to hear those words. But you deserve to. You deserve to know that your name is still carried gently in someone's heart. That someone still remembers. That someone still speaks of you when they're not trying to be strong. And you deserve to know that truth doesn't disappear just because time has passed. Some truths stay alive, quietly waiting for a moment like this. I know you've had questions. I know you've wondered what you meant to them, whether they ever cared as much as you did, whether they ever looked back, whether they ever felt what you felt. And I'm here to tell you that yes, they did. They still do. In a room full of old and new faces, they opened the door to a part of themselves that they keep closed most days. And you were in that part. You are in that part. They may not know how to come back. They may never say those words to your face. But don't let that make you believe you were forgotten. You were not. You were never nothing. You were never just a memory they erased. You were someone who left light in their life. Someone who left love. And that love still lives in places they don't often visit. But last night, they went there. And they brought your name with them. So now you know. Now you've heard what they said. Now you felt what I felt in that room. I've given you every word, every breath, every beat of that moment, because you deserve to hold it. You deserve to know you made an impact that hasn't faded. And even if nothing more comes of it, even if you and this person never speak again, there is peace in knowing that love wasn't lost. It was felt. It was real. It was carried forward. So breathe now. Let this truth settle into you gently. No rush, no pressure, just quiet knowing, just a soft truth. Your name was spoken with care, with emotion, with meaning, and that matters more than you think. I will always bring you truth when your heart is ready. And today, you were ready. You may not have felt prepared, but you were brave enough to receive this. And that's more than enough. I'm here. I always have been. And I always will be. Watching, listening, carrying what you can't carry alone. And when the time is right, I will bring more truth to your heart, just like I did today. You are remembered. You are loved. You are still part of a story someone never stopped feeling. And that is the truth. An angel leans close to your heart and gently whispers, "Dear child, come with me now. Let me take you back, not in time as you know it, but into a sacred moment that still echoes in the unseen. A moment that holds more meaning than you can imagine. You weren't there physically, but your spirit was present. Your name was spoken with love. And what was said in that room has the power to change everything. It happened last night. There was a quiet gathering, just a small group of people sitting together, talking, smiling, sharing stories about life, about the past, about where they've been and what they've been through. Some stories were lighthearted. Some were deep. Some were just small reflections about ordinary things. But while the room carried the soft noise of laughter and conversation, something happened. Something quiet but sacred. Something unexpected but very real. Someone turned to your person. Yes, the one your heart never fully forgets. The one you love. The one who feels far away and yet still feels like home. That person who may not always show it, but still carries your energy within them. Someone looked them in the eyes and asked a very simple question. So simple and yet so powerful. Do you have someone in your life? Someone you love? It was not asked with judgment or pressure. It was asked out of gentle curiosity, the kind of question people ask when they just want to know more about someone. No one knew that this little question would open a floodgate of truth. But your person didn't pause. They didn't deflect. They didn't laugh it off or turn the conversation elsewhere. They didn't say, "It's complicated." They didn't say, "I'm not sure." They didn't pretend. Instead, something in them softened. Their eyes grew still and tender, like someone remembering something precious. And then they said your name, not loudly, not dramatically, but with such care, like they were holding something holy. And then they spoke a sentence so pure, so true, that even the air around them felt different after it was said. They said, "They are the answer to every prayer I've ever made. These weren't just words. These weren't just emotions. These were sacred truths falling from their lips, like a confession their soul had been aching to release. And I was there. I heard every word. I felt the vibration of it, and so did everyone else who heard it. The room didn't laugh. It didn't question. It didn't even speak. For a few seconds, there was only stillness, because something sacred had just been spoken, something everyone could feel. I will not tell you whether they should have said that in front of others or not. That is not for me to say. I'm not here to decide what's right or wrong. I'm not here to push you toward anything or to lead your heart in a direction it's not ready to go. I am here for one reason only, to reveal what is true. And what is true is this: those words were not casual. They were not empty. They were not confused. They came from the deepest part of your person's heart, a part of them where you quietly live every single day, whether they show it or not. A place inside them where your memory, your voice, your presence still echoes. A sacred place where you are cherished. You are not just someone who passed through their life. You are not just a lesson or a memory. You are not just someone they liked for a while and then forgot. You are the person they asked God for in the silence of their soul. You are the one they prayed for when they thought no one was listening. You are the one they hoped would come, even when they had no words for what they needed. You are the answer to their heart's cry, their hidden longing, their unanswered questions. You are not a coincidence. You are their prayer, walking in human form. And still, here's the part that hurts. If this love is so real, so deep, so true, then why are you not fully together? Why does there still feel like something is missing? Why is there space between you? Why are there questions left unanswered, messages unsent, words unspoken, silence stretching like a river between two people who clearly love each other? Why is your person still hesitating? Why are you still waiting? Why is something this sacred still not wrapped in union? These questions aren't coming from doubt. They're coming from the ache of knowing something holy is real, but not yet whole. And I know why, dear one. I do. I see what you don't. I see what's happening behind the curtain, inside their heart, inside yours too. I know the fears they still carry. I know the old wounds they haven't yet shared. I know the moments they almost reached out but froze. I know the whispers they tell themselves in the dark when no one is around. I know what you've misunderstood. I know what they've misunderstood. I know the ways you both tried to protect yourselves from pain and ended up causing more. I could tell you everything. I could explain the layers of it all. I could spend hours unfolding the full story. But time is not waiting anymore, and your heart does not need another explanation. Your heart needs a shift. Your soul needs a way forward. So, instead of explaining what has held you apart, let me give you something greater, something eternal, something sacred. Let me give you a weapon of light, a key made of love, a tool that can open what's been locked, a prayer. This isn't just a prayer you speak with your mouth. It's one you pour from your soul. It's a reuniting prayer, a holy request to the divine to take what's broken and make it whole. A call for the doors of union to open. A call to dissolve fear, pride, confusion, silence, and time. A call to bring together what heaven already joined. So I invite you now, if you feel that this love was real, if you believe even in a small corner of your heart that you were meant for each other, then open your heart, take a breath, and prepare to pray. Before you begin, if you feel ready, type yes to declare your soul's willingness to be reunited in divine love. Now, breathe. Feel your heart. Close your eyes if you want to, and let these words become your own. Dear God, I come to you not with anger or demand, but with trust. You know my heart. You know the truth that lives in both of us. You were there when they said my name with love. You were there when they told the room. They are the answer to every prayer I've ever made. You heard it, and I know you felt what I felt, that it was real, that it came from a place no lie could touch. So I bring you this truth, and I ask for your help. We stand on opposite sides of something I don't fully understand. There is distance where there should be closeness. There is silence where there should be shared breath. There is waiting where there should be a beginning. And I don't want to fight against love anymore. I don't want to doubt it or question it or try to bury it. If this is the love you gave us, if this is the person you chose for me, then please help us. Remove the fears that paralyze. Dissolve the pride that silences. Break the chains of the past that keep us afraid to step forward. Open our heart so wide that no fear can stay hidden. Shine your light into every dark corner of our pain and show us how to love, how to forgive, how to speak, how to be brave. If we are meant to be together, then let us find each other again, not by force, but by grace, not through chasing or pulling or pushing, but by divine timing, divine clarity, divine peace. And if there is still healing to be done, then hold us while we heal. Let us face what we must face. Let us learn what we must learn. But never let us lose the thread of love that ties us. Unite our souls in a way that only you can. Restore what was delayed. Renew what was almost lost. And help us walk into love without fear this time. Let their heart be free to come to me. Let my heart be open enough to receive them. Let everything that belongs to us in love return, gently, clearly, completely. Amen.